it's quite a gritty movie. When I first read the script, I didn't read it quite as that, and then I had to go back and reread because I didn't even realise it was a musical as such from the script that I read. So once I sort of reread it, I thought, wow, these are proper dance, you know, these are going to be dance routines, they're proper sort of dance numbers. But through that dance, you've got to show the emotion as well. It's not just a frilly dance routine. All the sort of the makeups and the hair and everything and the costumes are all like gelled together to sort of take you through the emotions. So every dance routine is Elton growing or going through a different stage of his life, and it helps to carry us from sort of like another 5 years down the line. So that way we tell the story without sort of doing sort of deep cuts. I didn't realise actually before how much his music had affected the whole of my life as well. So that was it was quite a self-discovery along the way. I always remember him sort of playing at Princess Diana's funeral. I guess that's one of the sort of the most poignant moments that I could remember, because I think my music tastes were different to Elton's, but I didn't realise how much he'd actually influenced all sort of so many people in our lives, hasn't he? And how much that music, when you hear it, you kind of remember what you were doing then and everything. So yeah, I've actually discovered him even more now, haven't I? When I first came on board, they'd already, Dexter and Taron and the producers had already sort of talked him through what it entailed, and he was very up for going the whole hog, so he was willing to shave his head and sort of remove part of his hair so that we could then put sort of balding wigs and stuff like that on him. But I kind of worked out that because we've broken him down into basically 4 or 5 stages, because there's so many different looks for Elton. We had to then choose what wouldn't be so jarring for the audience, because showing all the different looks from all the photographs and research that I'd picked out, it would be quite confusing. So I wanted to sort of cut it down and stabilise it all and make it all work with the storyline that you're telling, but still give it the wonderful looks that you want, but at the same time sort of categorise it so that you can break it up and follow the storyline. So we've ended up with about 5 particular looks. When Bryce first came on, it was quite late casting. So originally Dexter said, why don't we just leave her with her own colour hair, because everyone was worried, because wigs take at least 5 weeks to make. But something was niggling me, because obviously Elton's mother was an important part of his life, and people will have seen her in the newspapers and everything. And whilst we're not doing caricatures, I just didn't feel it would have been the right homage to her to sort of leave her as Bryce's own hair colour, and also Bryce is so well known. I thought it would be really nice to sort of take her a little bit more into our movie and make her sort of closer to the colouring of Elton's actual mother. So we did actually end up wigging her, and she happened to fit one really perfectly, and so that gave me time to make the next one and the one after that. Each person has had about 3 or 4 wigs to show the different periods, and so that gave me time to play, because her first lot of filming was the wig that actually fitted her out of the box. So I got lucky. I love all the looks actually, because I loved the 80s. Obviously, that was my sort of height of my sort of youth, and I loved doing the 70s in this as well, though, because it's so nice to sort of see people look so different with those wonderful bell-bottom trousers and everything. And the 50s is much more boxed in, isn't it? And sort of a bit more controlled. So that's what was so nice about doing this, is that you've got all those different eras to show.